Hey, what's going on? Make sure everybody can see me okay out there in La La Land. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to dive into what is expected. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that everybody understands on this video today exactly what they should be doing. Your lefts, your rights, your ups, your downs, right? We're going to expose your system to what it is and how it's going to help you with whatever position that you're going through. If it's your purpose is 501c3, is a nonprofit, or is it a for-profit, right? So what we do is we're functioning, and I'm going to show you the context of everything so you can know exactly what we want to do, okay? But right now it's only 8:24, so what we're going to do is just pal around for a little bit and give it time for everybody to come on. And I'll be answering questions maybe a little bit. It just depends on how everybody comes aboard, but right now we got about 6 minutes or so, and so we'll be coming back and forth, and I will be showing you a couple of clips as we are waiting. All right, so dive back into the background right quick, and we'll bring up something for you guys into a
My name is Cheryl Reisner with SR Business Resources. I'm located in Shreveport, Louisiana. I was a bank lender in the past, and I thought I knew all about the financing and funding options available for businesses. I even went through the bank loan process when I got ready to purchase an existing business. I found out that the process was very tedious, the paperwork required was extensive, and it took months to complete the whole process. After that experience, I learned that there are a lot of different funding options available for businesses, but most business owners don't know how to get the money. I was very excited to learn about the Business Finance Suite and the process of building business credit for my business where I could get even more money than I could ever get before. I believe that the Business Finance Suite has opened up possibilities for my business in the future that I never could have imagined, and that every business owner can benefit from owning the Business Finance Suite. It will change the way you do business.
Hello, I'm Steve Granados, and I just wanted to thank the Business Finance Suite for helping me out with my business, and it has really helped me build my business credibility. So I wanted to say thank you for that, taking me step by step through the process so I can get some funding as well too. So thank you very much.
Okay, hello, my name is Curtis Henderson, and I am here to give you a testimonial about the Business Finance and Funding Suite. I have used the Business and Funding Suite myself, and I just want to say that it's been everything it was advertised to be, and then some. I'm really not sure where else you can find a program that is as comprehensive. I will say that it is not for someone that's going to be lazy with it. You really have to work the program. It's going to take 9 to 12 months to get you through the entire thing. But once you do go through the funding suite, your business is in a beautiful position to be to have access to lending and to be set up for what the banks and lenders are really looking for. And I think that's the big value of this program is, to me, when you're trying to get lending, the banks just come back and say yes or no. They don't really tell you why. It's not like obtaining a mortgage for a home purchase where they can come back and say specifically, hey, this is why we denied you. If you can correct this and this, then we're going to do business with you. In the business funding world, it's almost a mystery, and you wonder if the stars are just not aligned properly. What this program did, at least for me, is it clarified everything. Okay, it walked me through it step by step. Everything from the credibility phase, and even during while you're working the program, going through the steps, which again take 9 to 12 months. Even right from the beginning, once you get through the credibility stage, it's going to walk me right into a stage that's called fundability, where it's going to match me with whatever lenders I can get access to funds from right now. And depending on how long you've been in business and some other things you have going for you, you can get access to funds right away if you need them. My interest in the program wasn't that. My interest was, following it through all the way and really putting my business um, credit-wise in a position where we had a strong D&B, paydex, and a good overall credit profile, so that if I need lending, the entity itself really looks stellar, not only from a paydex score perspective, but also all of the other little things that the lenders and the banks look for as far as extending funding to businesses of my size. I can't say enough about the program. Again, I did search around before I settled in on this funding program, and I tell you what turned me off about other programs is they didn't even really seem to kind of know what was going to work and what wasn't going to work. It was almost like, well, we'll try this, and then we'll match you with this lender, and we'll see if it works. That's not this program. This program is very deep. It's very well designed and very well organized. And I would recommend it to anybody that's seeking to get funding for their business or put their business in a position where they're credible for funding from lenders. And I have recommended it, and I will continue to do so. Again, my name is Curtis Henderson, and my company is Q Global, and it's been a wonderful addition to my business.
So you guys can see what we're doing here, and I think I got 8:30 on the dot. So I'm excited because there's some good things that are happening right now. So a lot of things on the platform, and really what this is a elimination process, right? Because the biggest thing that I'm doing, my goal is I had to realize is that, hey, what you want to do is you just want to share this information, and anybody wants to take advantage of it, then so on, so on and so forth. That's great. And then there's an outline for you to follow, right? Or, right, you can do what a lot of people do. You can go and pay $2,000-3,000 for a program or a course, that's going to teach you the business credit. It's going to teach you real estate. It's going to teach you, the different formulas that you should be using, right? So that's fine. And then get that and try to study that as well. Or, just plug in, every Monday at 8:30 and then join in with us as we do buying and selling, right? And understand that there's a process to getting it done, right? And what you can do is once you understand that process, then you can know exactly what you have available for you. And that's the biggest thing. See, what you're doing is everybody is working on two things, and we're just simply trying to work for our right now lifestyle. We want to make sure we live in our best life now, right? But we also want to make sure we're saving money some type of way so that the money, when we don't want to work or can't work or whatever it is, right? We want to make sure that we have assets in place. And so what we do is we show you how to go after your purpose, and at the same time using real estate as a undergirding, as something to provide provision for you. Okay. But we've put together a system over this time that has stood the test of time. It's been tried and true. So I'm going to share that with you guys now. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is to make sure that you have whatever it takes. If you are the type of person that is more caught than taught, then that's fine. So come back, pause, then realign and take your notes, and then go to the next section and pause and come back and realign, take some more notes. But whatever it is, you got to do, because this was designed. The whole world is designed. What they have said before. If you want to hide anything from the ignorant, you put it in a book, right? And so we want to not be a part of that stereotype, right? So that's what we want to do. So I'm going to show you exactly how this works, right? So here, let's start from the beginning. And you guys let me know if everything is good to go. So this right here is the R.E.A.L University, simply standing for renewing excellence and advancing leadership, right? And our goal is to help you to pursue any purpose using our proven systems and frameworks, or something that you can operate within no matter what your end goal is. Okay. So a lot of people say, well, I don't want to do or sell something. I don't want to, do the recruiting or any this, that, and the other, right? This is your goal is to do business. All right. And so we want to put you around like-minded individuals that are doing business as well. and that's the Real University, right? What we want to do is we want to talk about what is missing from the real you, and then we want to give you the structure, the skills, the strategy necessary to do the things that you really want to do, right? How do we do that? See, we give you an ability to focus on your area of expertise. And see, so many other times people want to get you involved and they want you to sell their things. So you got to get to understanding, the product, how many, what you call this, how many coconuts are in it, right? How many doctors said that it cured, this, that, and the other. You got to know all these types of things, right? But what we do is help you to focus on you, your area of expertise first, by giving you something, giving you tools so that you can help others around you to get their needs met first. Okay. So when you help others, this is a sowing and reaping world. No matter what anybody is doing or what anybody has told you, they're ended up on their heads when they're leading with greed. Okay, so what we do is we sow and then we reap, right? So that allows us to build crusade, a financial empowerment for the individual and the community. This gives people a sense of empowerment, something to get behind. Okay. And don't worry about those that, say that, hey, I don't want to study, or I don't want to read, or, I can't learn this way. Right. So we have it on written, we have it on audio, we have it on video, we have it on every level so that you can plug in. And then we also have it live like today. Okay. So now the goal is to help people to get more of their needs and wants. Okay. Because they want more than just the things that you or I have to offer them, no matter how great our service or product or calling is. Right. So we got to do, as we had said before, feed them first, and then they'll be able to hear what you have to say, right? You have to build to where they know, like, and trust you. Okay. No, it's always good to be important, but it's more important, right, to be good. Okay. So what this does is it helps you to create a team of self-motivated individuals by helping them first. Okay. So if you help them to get to their end goal, what is their purpose? Consult, find out what it is that they need. Okay. And then help them to get to what they need by pointing them to the real university. Simple. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to take your time away to help them. All you do is play Don King, play the promoter. Then you can just simply point the way. Okay. Now, what if there's a way? I'm gonna get all this away out of the way right now. Out of the way. Okay. What if there's a way? Get your financial education. Say we say that's $249. Okay. What about a travel membership, profit center? Right? Because travel is going to come eventually, right? So it's $999 value. Personal business software, websites, $449. Personal credit, business credit, dedicated mentors and coaches, digital courses that you can use at any point in time to log into, social media marketing library that shows you exactly what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. Social media ready-made content, so you don't even have to make this stuff. You can actually just duplicate what's already made and make a training about what's already been done. Okay. And see, now you also have online and offline marketing training. Okay. All of this stuff, investment training, real estate training, personal development and growth training, brand growth and development. All of these things are underneath here. All you have to do is plug in and get your understanding, and then understand when you want to get these things, right? The goal is to increase, but you can't take everything in at one time, right? Because then you're going to explode. Okay. So instead of getting all of these things individually out there, right, and paying all of these prices individually, what if there's a way to get it all done for just $100? Okay. One system, one thing that shows you how to get to your purpose for just $100, right? I wanted to get that out of the way because there's people that are being invited, or if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to understand, hey, this is what we have. We don't have anything else for you. There's nothing else, no fluff, puff, or anything like that, right? So also, I wanted to eliminate all tire kickers, all those that are not serious about being a personally motivated individual and going after the things that you really want in life. Okay. So now that that's out of the way, now this is financial education for your purpose. This is your calling, your business, your passion, right? We're not asking you to do anything else besides those things, okay? And the thing is, the reason why people come in and come out of here without matriculating through the process is simply because it's a lack of dedication to the things that they really want, or either a lack of clarity about what they want. So we help you to attain both of those so that you can see where it is that you're headed by looking at the videos that are recorded and other people that have gone the same direction that you're trying to go. Okay. The real you helps you with your business, your calling. And then the first thing we want to do is we want to get to a place to where we understand what is our calling, right? If you don't have anything set for yourself right now, right, you can use any one of these, okay? Franchise development, real estate, travel, financial services, community solutions. These are already in place for you, right? So all you have to do is jump in and learn what somebody else has already done and duplicate that same process, okay? So we begin with your minor. Just like any college or university, that this is the goal of this university. So you begin with your minor. That's a personalized cash flow plan, and then start with that personalized cash flow plan. What should you be doing? Where should you be going? Right? A personalized cash flow plan to give you your cash flow strategy. And then you graduate to your major. Right? So you start working in your purpose. You're understanding 5 P's: brand management, growth, business credit, development. Okay. So what we do is we give you solutions and strategies that are easy to follow, courses, templates, even proven scripts so that you can pursue your purpose. Okay. Give you a way to do the things that you really wanted to do without having to go around all of these other places. Okay. So the goal is a 369 transformation. 3 days or less. Cash flow. We're going to increase your cash flow. We're not asking you to sell anything to increase your cash flow. Okay. And then 6 weeks or less business income. It's going to show you how to multiply your cash flow. 9 months or less investment income. Meaning we're going to show you and teach you terms, definitions, right? Strategies, what you want to do to increase your cash flow and to make sure that your future lifestyle is the best it can be. Okay. So now that's your 369 financial transformation. So now what should I be doing? Okay, 3 days, you should be getting cash flow. 6 weeks or less, you should be working on business income, helping yourself to get to a better place in life. Okay, 9 months, you're working on terms and definitions. Okay. So now what we're doing, what is it that we're looking for? Everybody, simple. We want to make more money and keep more of the money that we're making. Okay, is any of this that I'm saying sound outside of what you're trying to do? Okay, if it is, log off right now. Go ahead and hit that stop button. That's totally fine because you're not the individual that we're talking to. Okay, so what we want to do is show you how to live a best life now, and then make sure you have assets to pay for your future lifestyle. So you're not at Walmart. So you're not at McDonald's, okay? At 85, 90 years old, okay? So most times it's a struggle to create both because nobody's looking out. It's not the pension. It's not Social Security. None of those things are looking out for you, okay? So you got to work on your economy, right? So let's look at the current and future lifestyle. That's shelter, clothing. Everybody knows that. And then what you want to do is live a future dream lifestyle. So we got to have assets, cash, asset, cash. Okay. So the goal, give a people a system, not just your product or service, but give them a system to achieve their goals. And then indirectly, they're going to come back and know, like, and trust you enough to come to your product or service. But you're going to give them a discipline, okay? Not just something to say, hey, I got the best this. That's why we go to Apple, because they give us culture, right? They give us a sense of belonging. Okay, that's why it's hard to get anybody to switch from one to the other, Apple to the other one. See, I don't even know the other one. So you also got to give them a way to purchase your service or product. Okay, so you free up cash flow. That way, you know you can help them. You free up cash flow. So now we're working on current and future lifestyle, and that's paid for by your labor. Future lifestyle paid for by your assets. But we got to overcome inflation, taxes, debt, big business, right? Inflation, that's a silent income killer. Taxes, it's like a chainsaw massacre. It's taking 30% of your income every time you get paid, right? What's the difference between your gross and your net, right? Your net is gross, ain't it? I understand, right? So the debt, that's the curse, right? We want to get up out of there, right? It's not overnight, but we can get up out of there. And then big business marketing, that's killing your future assets, because every month they make you feel like you got to buy something. Is it Valentine's Day? Is it the birthday? Is it Christmas? It's something, right? So now you want to use the cash flow system to overcome these things that are in your way, these four income killers, right? The first is cash flow management, then business income, then investment income. That's why we talk about real estate, because real estate helps us to increase the cash flow. It helps us to get business income, and it also gives us future assets. Okay, so we reduce taxes, debt, and expenses. We get lifestyle write-offs. We take things like our Wi-Fi, we the mileage. We take things like your cell phone bills, right? All those things now can be business expenses. Okay. So now the goal is to understand your cash asset cash. Just a simple small amount of cash, right? Simply frees your mind. So now you can get the understanding and the wisdom from somebody that's already done it. Okay. That creates for you an asset, your mind, something that cannot be taken from you, not something else for you to sell, not something else for you to do some of the recruiting for. Okay. But something to create and give you intellectual property, which cannot ever be taken away from you. Then that creates for you assets. That gives you everything you need to create more and more children or more cash flow, right? So what we want to do, normally I would like to go through a quick testimony, but because this is our Mondays, right? Pretty much most of us are already family and friends, but I want to show you exactly what this process is, okay? What you should be thinking about, right? So we're increasing cash flow. How do we get into real estate investing? How do we get to our end goal? How do we get to that purpose that we want to do, right? We got to discipline the steps in between. Correct the W-4, okay? First step. Right? What's the W-4, Mike? That's that paperwork that you filled out when you first started working. Right? So many people you get free right now today if you would just settle down, let them know about the W-4 and lifestyle tax deductions. Not everything else. How to do that. Right? How to get themselves a home-based business for $19 or something and $34 a month so they can correct their W-4, get an extra $300 a month in, right? So they're exchanging $34 and getting $300. They take the extra $300 and pay $34.95. The rest of it, they do what? Pay down debt. The rest of it, they start to invest. Okay, now they don't have to get a second job. The rest of it, they're making the credit better, right? Because they have more money. They don't have to be late on certain things. They don't have to have late fees. They don't have to play, NSFs. What's the NSF stand for, right? Non-sufficient funds, or is it not so fast? Slow down, all right? So you can reduce your taxes, right? So that reduces your liabilities. So that increases the money that you now have. Okay, so all of these things start to increase your cash flow. So now what is it that I'm telling you that you're not trying to do? Are you not trying to increase your cash flow? Are you not trying to get better credit? Are you not trying to get business credit so that you can do and pursue your own purpose? Are you not trying to get better in your own mindset with personal development and growth, right? What is it that you're not trying to do, right? What is it that moves people that says, hey, I don't want to do this, right? It is usually the commitment level. Okay, is that we think that we can take a pill that's going to cause us to lose 50 pounds overnight. That's generally the reason. Okay, so let's get out of this right here, and this really describes your number one asset. But we'll come back to that because I want to get to you, and we saw a couple of testimonies in the beginning. Okay, so get down to the crux of it, right? Capital, right? There's a what you call it? I think it's called Follow the Bank or The Banker. I'm not quite sure, but it's an awesome movie about the African Americans. I don't like that term, but anyway, that were trying to get access to capital back in the day when there were Jim Crow laws and all that type of things that are still in place. Okay, and see, the thing is, and what's still the problem is that we don't have access to capital. And every time we do access capital, we access it on the retail side, right? Nobody can tell us anything differently because guess what? We don't trust one another. Okay. And when that happens is now we go over here to Jim Bob, and Jim Bob takes us for 120% what we could have done if we just had education. Okay. And so now what you do is when you have education, you don't go and get access to funds and then pay retail for it. So like you go get $100,000 house, you don't pay $100,000 for the house. You go get a $10,000 car, you don't pay $10,000 for the car, right? Because the reason people do that is because they're outside of a network. When people say it's not what you know, but it's who you know. But at the same time, we don't network to know other people. So it behooves you to get around people that are doing the things that you're doing, okay? And then that way you can do what they call sharpening iron, right? And so what we do is we focus on three premier of wealth strategies. Cash flow increase. We give you the software, the solutions, and the strategies that comes with your system. We teach you how to build a business because you can only retire on what you build. Whether you build it in a 401k, see, even in a 401k, you got to know, or TSP, you got to know what they're doing, right? Do you understand how much money, even if you're getting 6 or 8% in that 401k, understand they're getting another 2 to 4%, maybe more, of just the trading allowances that's going on. It depends on your 401k. Okay, let me put in a disclaimer there. Depends on your 401k, but there are some trading going on in most 401ks, and you have to pay for that. That's why you can get more returns if you have more information. Okay. So the third strategy is investment income. Okay. Cash flow increase, business income, and then investment income. So when you understand these things, then you can understand how this works. Okay. So now when we break into this in real estate, you can understand, hey, I got to have the determination and the commitment to understand the level that it takes to understand this, right? People go through school for 12 years to go through the first level of school, and then they go in for another 4 years, and then some people going for another 12 years after that, right? To get to the level of the income that they're producing. And then we start a business, and then we do it part time, maybe 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and then we expect a certain return, right? So why is that? That we got to understand that how we do one thing is how we do everything. Okay, so whatever level of commitment that we're putting in, that's the amount of that's going to return to us. Okay, so this is what's happening here, and you can see yourself on either side of this explanation. You can be Stephanie, or you can be Linda, or you can be both. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by Stephanie or Linda. Okay, Stephanie is buying a house to fix it up. She wants to resell it for a profit. Right. And because of the nature of the deal, Stephanie can't get money. Just like houses are sitting at the side of the road, and we see them all the time. They may be in a good area, but banks will not lend on those. OK, so what can she do? It's called private money. OK, and this is when Linda comes in. OK, Stephanie's paying $100,000 for the house. She can see itself for 175. Okay. She sees herself making a $75,000 gross. That's before expenses and everything. Okay. So she already has 35,000. Whether she has a 35,000 from a 401k that she's only making 2, 3, 4% on, okay, or she has it from a business line of credit, maybe, or a personal line of credit. Okay. So she takes the 35,000, or maybe she does what we do, group economics, and then we bring everybody together. Okay. And in that way, somebody may have 10, somebody may have 20, somebody may have the remainder. Okay. And then we all make, the money difference. So we reach out and we contact a private lender. This private lender can be a person or it can be a company. That's the beautiful thing about it. If you are a private person, if you're a lender and you are a private person, right? You're instead of a company. That's what I mean by a private person. Now, I don't mean a introvert. Okay. So if you are a person, and you are, say for instance, you have 40, 50,000, 100,000 in your 401k, and it's losing, or it's only making 2 or 3%, and you're trying to retire, okay, and you like to earn 15 to 20%. You can understand how to become a private money lender. Okay. It's totally what people are doing, just like becoming a bank. Okay. All right. So Stephanie has 35,000. We know where she got that from, right? Stephanie contacts an investor or private lender named Linda. Okay. Pays a premium price to borrow the 65. That's fine with her. She'll borrow the 65 because she understands if I get that, I can make 75. Okay. So let's rock and roll. Okay. So Linda, knowing she doesn't have a problem lending to it, because Linda says, hey, if you don't do it, I get the house. So I'm fine. That's good. It's a good deal. I know that it's a great deal. So if you don't do what you said you're going to do, I get the house anyway. So I'm good. And if you do it, I'm going to make a relatively high return on my investment. So everything is a win, win, win. Okay. So let's fast forward 12 months. Stephanie did everything she's supposed to do, sold it for $175,000, right? Got it beautiful, got it sold, okay? Okay, let's remember, we said she had to back out how much it cost, okay? So what it did, she had to put down 10% of what she borrowed, of the borrowing amount, okay? That was 175. So we take out 17.5. Okay, it cost 15,000 to repair the property. It wasn't a complete demolish, so it was just a rehab. Okay, so it cost 15 grand to get that done. Okay, take out 15 grand. Okay, now we had it out there for 5 months. It took us 3 months to build it. To get it rehab, maybe. And then another 2 months, we held it until it was sold. So we paid for it for 5 months, $42.25. Okay, take that back. Right now, we got to pay back Linda. Okay, because Linda did great. Right, we borrowed 65. Right, we got to pay her back 67.6. Okay, now the reimbursement of the down payment. Remember, we got it from a bank, or a line of credit, or either we got it from the 401k. So we just put that right back. Boom, bye, y'all. So okay, so now that everything is back, we paid everything back. Check. Right. So now total net profit to Stephanie is what? $35,000. Okay. After everything, Stephanie did great. Linda she's ecstatic as well. No problem. I got my $65,000 back. Plus, I got another $6,800 on top of it. So everybody loved it. Matter of fact, Linda says, hey, Stephanie, when you going to get another one? And let me loan you that money too. Because now you got experience, and now your experience is with me on top of everything else. Okay. So that's how that gets done. Win-win. Okay, so see yourself as being either Stephanie or Linda, or being an opportunity to be both. Okay, so when you understand that, you can now recognize your cash flow destroyers. Okay, and then use the extra cash flow to start. You traveling with your family, child's education, retirement, right? Just many different things that you want to do. And you're still revolving around the three cash flows, the three wealth strategies: cash flow management, business income, and investment income. Okay. See, they had you inside for 12 years funneling that crazy information into you that you have absolutely no reason to, no opportunity to use, and other than the reading and the basic math. Okay, but now somebody says, hey, take a couple of seconds and gain some understanding and wisdom so that you can be your own boss. Okay, so nobody else can tell you what to do. So what I did was I separated this process so that you don't have to have a bunch of risk, right? So most people say, hey, when you do a no cash, no credit type of real estate, they're thinking about wholesaling, right? What we do is we do wholesaling also, but we teach you differently. Let's look at wholesaling a little later, okay? Let's look at real compensation, okay? And what that means is that we are allowing everybody, no matter where you are, you can have a 300 credit score, $0 in the bank, and you can start your own real estate venture. Okay, let me explain. You'll be a real leader. That's the first level. Turning in a property. All you're doing is understanding what a good property looks like, and turning in the paperwork. Okay, simple, done, in, out. Okay, now you're going to do that on a regular basis, here, there. Maybe you're turning 5 to 10 a month. Okay, right? Maybe it takes 3-4 months to get that going. Maybe it takes 5 or 6 months to get that going, but you're still doing it. You're learning at the same time and you're earning at the same time. Okay, because there's other things going on besides the real estate, right? This is getting you going. So let's imagine if you were able to, you turn in that deal and we close on a deal, it's $10,000. That's 15% of that. So that's $1,500, right? Let's go on. Okay. So as a communicator, it simply goes up in level. You learn how to talk. You learn how to qualify the deals that are turned in. Then you graduate to a coordinator. That means you can talk. That means you can also recognize good deals, right? Then you become a broker because you can do all 3 steps, right? You can manage. Now you can also become a partner, which means that you'll be responsible for a particular area. It may be a city, town, a state, okay? And see, now at every point in time, if something is turned in, there's a deal, and we made, a net amount, 10 grand, okay? Out of that net amount, you'll make what your percentage is on the far left. Okay, if you graduated to a broker, you understand all the levels, all the 3 levels, and you turned in a deal, you simply turned it in. Okay, we liked it, we loved it, we purchased it, we did what we did. The net profit was 10 grand. That means you made 5,000 because you're a 50% broker. Okay, now let's imagine. I'll tell you what, let's not go there so far. Getting ahead of myself. Okay, so there's real estate home referrals, which means that we help out on every level of real estate. Are they in pre-foreclosure? Can we help? Yes. Is a foreclosure home? Can we help? Yes. Short sale? Can we help? Yes. Right. So I need to understand that is real estate and finance, we can help. Okay, so that means business and personal credit referrals and financing and funding. Okay, automobile referrals and financing and funding. Okay, and you will get a commission on everything that you refer. Right, and so we don't mean $25, $50. We mean percentages. Okay, because we're in business together, as we say, group economics. Okay, so let's go to the chalkboard real quick. Okay, fast formula for group real estate investment: cash flow, right? We teach you to understand ARV times 65% minus repairs equals the maximum allowable offer. Okay. When you understand it, don't worry about understanding that right now, because we will teach you and teach you and teach you. Write down, write, implement. Don't wait till next Monday, right, to come back in here and just fall in here at 8:26, right, or 8:32, right, and then expect to gain, the knowledge and understanding that you want to create 6 figures of the year, or the knowledge and understanding that you want to get into your own home, right? See, there's a thing. What I'm saying is, you're buying a $100,000 home. And if you're buying a $100,000 home, you have opportunity to get into it with no down payment, because because the network's going to show you how to have access to closing cost assistance, down payment assistance, right? You also have the opportunity to save the same $100,000 home. We'll show you how to get it for 80. So you're saving 20 grand. Okay. So I think that takes you to actually say, hey, oh man, this is what I need right here. This is how I tune in. This is how I get the things that I want. This is how I get to that next step. Because if you don't have ownership in anything, as in real estate, land, business, then you don't have anything. If you're making six figures, $250,000 on your job, you still don't have anything. If that job decides to say, hey, we no longer want to be in business, what do you have? Right? You have to build. You have to come out of that comfort zone enough just to say, hey, I don't understand, but Mr. Holmes does, or I don't understand. You can look at Real University and get what everything you need. Just do that, and that'll take care of your things. Okay. So now let's look at it. When you understand ARV, that's simply your after repaired value of the home, what the home will be worth once it's repaired. Okay, you multiply that by 65%. So if that home is worth 100 grand, and then that will be 65%. So that will be 65,000, right? 100 times 65%, 65,000. Okay, and I'm gonna go back and answer any questions. So then you subtract repairs. Repairs, like let's look at it this way. If the home does not need complete demolition, okay, then you can pretty much estimate it, right? If it needs a complete demolition, like we're knocking it down to the ground, then you have to estimate it as in a complete construction from the ground up. Okay, so don't do that. Let's look at something that does not need a complete knockdown. Okay, when it needs a complete knockdown, that takes a little bit more experience. Okay, so look at things like it's a repair, it's rehab, it's terrible, the windows are knocked out, but it's overall good structure. Okay, so if it's a let's say a 1,500 square foot home and it needs a complete restructuring, let's look at about 15% of that, right? So let's just put this in your head. Just say 15 or 20,000. Right? If it needs a complete repairs, rehab, just say 15 to 20,000. Because the houses that we're dealing with is going to be in the average of $100,000 to $200,000. So generally 15 to 20 grand is going to take care of majority of your repairs, enough to give you an estimate before you can actually get to myself or one of the persons of excellence. Okay, so that gives you your formula. This is how you can on site this formula right here. People pay thousands of dollars for, because this is what gives you your estimate. This is what gives you the opportunity to get a property at the wholesale discount instead of getting at a retail price. Okay. So now they're looking at a property that's $200,000. Okay, how do we get that? We got that from Zillow.com. That gives you the houses that have been recently sold. Okay, so we look at this broken down house. Then we look at the broken down address, the address of that house. Then we look at Zillow. Plug it into Zillow, and then Zillow tells us the other houses in this area have sold for the average of 200 grand. Okay, let me take a sip of water. So now the home that you found, okay, it's all tore up, maybe it's burned somewhere in pieces or whatever, right? It's selling for $85,000. Okay. Now, as it's and then you see the difference there is what, 115 grand. Okay. So now we say that home needs about 15,000 in repairs. Then I'll teach about including wholesale. Don't worry about that. Okay. So example with this one, we're just going to say for time's sake that we created $20,000 worth of profit on this particular deal. Okay, just for time's sake, we're going to say after everything was repaired, rehabbed, and everything, net, we done paid everybody back. We paid the hard money lender back. We paid the money back to the 401k or to the particular business line of credit. So we have $20,000 profit. Okay. Now, how does that break down within the percentages? The group cash flow, right? Remember, you got 300 credit, okay? No cash. How does that break down for you? Okay, you were the leader. You were the leader on this particular project. So, and you had just started. You've been around for a month or so. You turned the deal in. We made 20 grand. Okay, so you made 15% of that 20,000. Okay, so that's what, 3 grand for you turning in that sheet of paper. Okay, now if you were a communicator, which means you've graduated, okay, and you turned in the same deal, then you would have made 6,000. Okay. If you were a coordinator, again, 40%, you would have made 8,000 for turning in that deal. Okay. If you were a broker, so on and so forth. Okay. So you see how it can go. Now, what I want you to see is that every level that you graduate to, you're able to get paid from the level of introduction of the other person that you bring in. Okay. So let's say, for instance, that you're a broker and you're at a 50% level. Okay. And you introduce somebody in California, you live in Alabama. The person in California immediately saw a nice deal, and so happened to be a great deal that we liked. We got it sold up there in California, took us 2-3 months or whatever. And so we made $20,000 of profit. Okay. You had a 50%, we made 20,000, you grossed 10,000. Okay. Because you had 50%. Now, you grossed 10,000, but you would have net, because you had to subtract 3,000, okay? Because your leader in California turned it in, okay? So out of that 10 that you have, 3,000 is cut to that leader. He's excited, she's excited, whoever that leader is. You're excited because you just made $7,000 in override. You didn't know anything about that particular deal, but because you were responsible within the R.E.A.L University, you've matriculated, you've understood the paperwork, you've understood how to talk to sellers, you understand how to recognize a deal. Okay, so we reward you for that, right? So you made 10 grand gross, and the leader turned it in Cali. So you out of that, you had to subtract that part, that portion. Okay, and see, so many times people do things like insurance, realtors, um, what is the other one? Mortgage brokers. Okay, and see, if you compare this type of pay structure, you will see that it outranks far. So, like say for instance, when you want to be a real estate broker, first thing you got to do is get your real estate license. You got to pay that amount of money, whatever that amount of money is. Okay, and the first thing you do is you understand the law of real estate. Okay, great. Understand you're gonna spend $500, $1,500 to get that graduation. Okay, so now what you're doing is you got to go out there on your own and find houses to represent. Okay, or you got to get with a company that may have a stronger representation so that people recognize you for credibility, and then maybe you could get more houses to list that way. Okay, but you still then got to pay that company that you got with for their credibility. So you may be paying them a couple $100 a month. Okay, or you may be paying them a percentage out of your closings. Okay, so you see, you still have to do that same process, but you have to pay for it in the beginning. What we do is to show you, okay, what you pay for is the time you invest in learning this. There's no cost, there's no thousands of dollars of cost anyway. You just basically buying your books and your software, right? All the education, everything is included. Okay, so that's your R.E.A.L University, right? So we have people and real life experiences to help you to pursue your purpose, whatever that end goal is. Don't get it confused and say, hey, I got to do this, so I can't really go after my purpose. No, no. The R.E.A.L University is not to substitute. R.E.A.L University is a tool so that you can use the processes, and the processes that we have, the frameworks that we have, is through my econ. Okay, and so when you understand that process, you understand that we have the different areas that you can pursue, or you can have your own area, because no matter what, you got to do personal credit, business credit, leveraging credit. You got to understand cash flow. You got to understand investments. Or else somebody else is going to take your money. Either they're going to take your money by you giving it to them so that you can so they can tell you what to do with your money, or they're going to take your money because you don't understand what to do with it. You're going to go to people and say, hey, do this for me, get me into a home, right? And that person's going to say, hey, no problem, right? I'm going to take you and get you into a home. And guess what? It's been at least 1 to 3 years on the average that people lose their homes in the last 10 years because of the lack of education, right? So what I want to do is continue to show you guys that process so that you don't miss anything. So inside and out, we have every piece. And let me go ahead and get out of here so you can see. Now I can see myself as well. All right. So as you can see, the goal is to make sure that the education is there so that you can't be taken advantage of, right? And so many times is the thing is the hardest to understand for me has been, hey, Mike, if you build it, you give them everything that they need that they're already searching for. They can come back, go through the university, and get everything that they need and apply it to their lives, right? But I had to remember that it was hard for me to go back to school, right? It's hard for me, even at 18, 19 years old, to apply myself to schooling and everything like that. So what I have to do is say, hey, let me show you, the background of this, okay? Let's slow down. Let's say, hey, let's just back it up just a little bit and say, hey, I understand that you have to create more income. I understand that you have to do what you need to do for your family, for your children. I understand that you're trying to create a lifestyle. I understand that you got to go after that bag. I understand that social media has people all misconstrued that this thing is going to happen overnight. Okay. But what I want you to do is understand that you have to do the basics. You have to go back and understand, how to take notes. You have to understand, okay, how to apply the things that I've learned, because school didn't teach us that. School only taught us to regurgitate things. School only said that, hey, read this tomorrow, and then the test is going to be exactly basically what you read. But see, the thing is that majority of us didn't get to the second level of college. See, college teaches you how to apply what you learned. Right? The next levels, they teach you how to apply what you learn. And see, when you come out of most of them, we stop thinking, right? And that goal is, hey, then tell me what to do, right? That's why we have so many different things that we can follow, right? Because what we end up doing is saying, hey, somebody's got to tell me what to do, right? So we follow this person and we try to get a little glean from that one, and then we come over here and try to follow this person. Listen, I can only say it because I did it, okay? So that's why I did this right here, so that you don't have to do it. You don't have to go out there and prostitute yourself, right, for something that you really don't want to be involved in, right? You may not even want to be involved in that job. You may not want to sell that peel, potion, lotion, wrap, or a tea in order to get to that end goal, right? You may want to just be the best you can be. And see, that's what we teach. We show you, hey, you got personal development. Take yourself 20 minutes, read 10 good pages of a book, right? And find out, put that information in you. Because as you know about computers or anything else, it's garbage in, garbage out. How you program is how you actually program will run itself. Okay. So what are you programming? What is that's coming in? What is this going in? What is coming out of the mouth? Okay. And see, then what are the activities that are next necessary to be taken, right? And so many times you say, okay, I'm not getting the results. And that's just like saying, hey, I'm not getting the results of losing weight. But, my thing is, I haven't done anything necessary to lose weight. Right, I'm still eating the ice cream. I'm still eating, the things that are fattening. Right, so the goal is where you have to, as my man Chauncey says, go on a financial diet. Right, you have to see, okay, what belongs and what belongs and what doesn't belong. Okay, when you understand that process, then everything else is easy, because you're working from a system. You're working from a systematic approach. And see, the people like myself that create systems, right? Now we can come back and say, hey, we got to jump into the system ourselves and apply the things so that we can start running. Okay. So this time of I think February all the way till today, basically a year now, it's been a time of adjusting, a time of saying, hey, things are differing. Things are not the same. The way people are doing business is not the same. It probably won't be the same for a good period of time. So what do we do to adjust to this? Now that the criteria for lending and loans is changing, okay, what do we do, right? How do we adjust for that process, okay? And then I say, hey, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to meet every Monday at 8:30 8:30, and we're going to get together a plan to buy real estate and businesses all across the nation by bumping into other people that are pursuing their own purposes, help them do what they want to do the most, and then let's all buy and sell real estate. Okay. And when you do that, that builds you a foundation. Okay. And that teaches you a strategy. And that strategy is your own system. So you wake up in the morning, you understand, okay, personal development. Let me read these 3 pages. Okay, let me do an affirmation. Let me write down, okay, I am, such and such and such. I am, say it in present tense, right? Put your system together, okay? Then you move on from there. You say, hey, my goal is to reach out to 10 people through this 24 hours. We have a texting system that you can reach out to 10 people in 10 minutes, right? And see, your goal is to separate yourself from the fear, false evidence appearing real, right? FEAR. Separate yourself from that. That's not even there, right? The thing that we're fearing hasn't even happened yet. We're worrying about what somebody may say, or either we're thinking about what somebody may say about what they're thinking about, what they're thinking about, what we thought about, right? What we got to do is say, hey, I'm going forward and I'm doing my steps. When we get into a job, right? That's where we rely on, because we know if we execute the steps on the job, then they're going to pay us, right? We're going to do just enough so that we don't get fired. They're going to pay you just enough so that you don't leave, right? And see, that what that system breeds is that breeds a system of dependency. It makes you into a AA battery. You know what I'm saying? So the goal is, I'm not speaking against the job, but I'm saying, hey, maintain that job 40, 50, 60 years. That's not the point. The point is, what if we can no longer sit back after everything that we've seen and not give ourselves more of an opportunity, more of a chance to get over? We can't allow, right, Biden. No, if he's going to be good or bad, I don't know, right? It shouldn't matter to you. You should be able to take your economy to your own self and say, hey, I'm doing cash flow management. I'm increasing my cash flow. I'm going to reduce my debt, reduce my expenses. I'm going to invest. I'm going to learn how to get myself better so I can start this business. I'm going to understand how to have access to capital so that I can put more money into the business. So then I can understand how to invest into marketing and advertising and to build the business the right way, instead of doing all this type of things that we see everybody else doing, and it's not building a business. The only thing that it's doing is actually saying that I'm busy. You're posting, we're saying that's the only thing that's showing that I'm busy, right? And so we want to get away from showing that we're busy and showing that we're doing business, okay? And when we get to that level, then nothing can stop us. We understand that, hey, at 8:30 on Monday, I gotta be. You know what I'm saying? I got a place I gotta be. When you get to that level of seriousness, then that's when things will change for you. When you understand that, hey, this is not just some little thing that some people are doing, right? That's possible to create a couple $100, right? You can do that and create a couple $100, but you can create a couple $100,000 too, right? So you can continue to create your life as a hobby and not put it into a systematic approach, and you're going to get the same things. Or you can put your life into a systematic approach, right? So when we say, like, we want to lose weight, I hear people do it all the time. I see them do the meals. They start sectioning off their meals, right? I see them talking. I see them actually taking steps. They're posting how they're working out. And they have set schedules that they're working out. Then all of a sudden, it becomes a habit for them. And this habit forming, that's what they're doing. They just become that person. Then all of a sudden, they're slim. They're eating better. Now they're talking crazy to people like they didn't really just used to be, whatever. But anyway, you gotta get yourself to a place to where you're doing systematic approaches to life. Okay, you're to a place to where there's nothing else in front of you but your goal. You know what I'm saying? And when that thing happens, then it's something called Cadillacing. And then nothing can get in your way. And even if it does, even if that up or down happens, even if that person takes advantage of you, even if that person leaves you, even if the job goes overseas, whatever happens, you have such a foundation that cannot be shaken, right? It cannot be removed from you because it is your own. Is your education, is your own information. But and that's why I had to do this tonight, because me just just showing people things and calling people up and saying, hey, this is what we're doing. It's not working. So I'm eliminating from this point forward and said, hey guys, it's like Gideon. Gideon worked with like 300 people at first, right? Then it reduced it all the way back down. Okay. So the goal is to say you don't need that many people. That's why you keep going through life and everything in your life keeps getting shaken, because you keep trying to put people in your life that don't belong. You keep trying to put stuff in your life that does not belong. And so that's why the things doesn't go the way that you think it should go. It's not anything to do with you, but if you are allowed to get to that level with the crap that's surrounding you, then you will fall further, and that will hurt you more than just getting everything taken back from you now, so that you start with the right foundation. Okay, so that foundation has to be to a point to where it's saying, hey, I'm going to achieve no matter what it takes. If it takes me learning, then I'm going to learn. If it takes me plugging in, getting this video, then I'm going to get this video. If it takes me getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get it, then I'm going to get this thing done. Until it gets to that point, till it gets to that level of saying that, hey, I used to be this. I mean, imagine, just take myself, okay? And look at your vision. What is your mission? What is it? Who are you placed here to help? Okay. It's not narcissism. You're not here that because everybody's going to help you, right? It's not your project or service to be driven to. It's how many people you're going to help with your product or service. That's why all these large companies and large businesses are getting hacked, are getting taken down, because they're too big and they're not helping the individuals. That's why you see people or places like companies like Chick-fil-A, and people got nothing but praises, because they understand with their process, it's all about the people. Their processes, it's all about making sure that the people get the proper service. Okay. And see, that's what yours has to be. Once we have, let's say your product or service is this, it's this particular staple, it's this, whatever it is, it's this, right? And so your goal is to get more people to buy this from you. And this right here is the best thing since sliced bread, right? But you're the meanest, right? So how long is that going to last, right? People will learn how to do without this, because you don't have the right things in place. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to have a thing or a way to give them more than what you just have. It's a real university is able to give them help. So when you meet them, you have the personal development to consult with them, right? To make a friend, to understand what's going on with them first and foremost, right? Once you do that, then you're able to give them the necessary ingredients that they need, right? So it may be personal credit, and that may be all. It may be business credit, right? And see, then once we know and we can diagnose, we give them a context. Okay, so now I understand you say personal credit, great, but what happened to get you to the personal credit problems? Okay, it was lack of cash flow. Okay, what do we need to do about the cash flow problem? Okay, see, everything boils down to a cash flow problem. Why businesses don't prosper is because of cash flow problems. If you had the right kind of cash flow, you could pay the right type of people to get you to the right levels. Okay, so it's all about cash flow. You can advertise, you can market into your advertising. Okay, and so when you understand that process, it's nothing that you can't solve. Operate from a system. Systems what? That means save yourself time, money, energy. Save yourself time, money, and energy. Okay? They got me all confused. Hold on 1 second. All right. So system, right? SYSTEM. Save yourself time, energy, and money. Operate from a system. See, when you I'm done. I'm done. I am finished. Okay. Because the biggest thing is, I just wanted to get out tonight is to get it recorded as well, to show that there is a systematic way that you can achieve your goals. And what I had to realize is, no, I'm not talking to everybody. I'm not talking to I'm not talking to most people, right? Most people have made themselves satisfied. satisfied in the arena of that. Hey, I ain't got it yet, so I'm just gonna settle for what I do get, what I do get. I'm cool with with where I am right now, and my kids, they got to get it for themselves. Okay, so and it's this type of philosophy that I'm reaching out to change, but I'm only now looking for those people that I want to do the same thing. I'm not looking for the people that say, hey, I want it, but I don't want to share it. That's not what this calls for. That call is on Monday. I mean, that call is on Wednesday and Thursday. Those people that just need to, want to not be a leader. This is for leaders. This is something that's saying, hey, I'm going to get myself together. I'm going to find out what I need to do. Mike, what's one? What's two? What's three? Okay. When Mike's not available, what's purposepursuer.com so I can log in and make sure that I'm doing with the X, Y, and Z. What's the cause for my econ so I can see what the other trainers are doing. Right, what's the Facebook, account so I can see what everybody else is doing on their side. What's going on in my econ, right? What is your priority? Where are you putting the most of your time, right? That's what's going to produce for you. This life is no more than sowing and reaping. What you're looking at in your hands right now, what I look at in my hands right now, no matter what anybody has done to me, no matter what has happened to you, anything like that, what we have is what we have, right? And what we got to work with is what we have, the time that we can sow so that we can learn things, okay? And see, what we do is when things like that happen, the only thing that takes us the biggest time to get back on that horse is the time that we take to blame that other person, the time that we think about getting back to that other person, to get them back, for what they've done, or try to, the thing we got to post because Trump was doing this, now Biden's doing this, what I'm saying? So I gotta blame this type of thing. If Biden would have done this and passed this right here, then I'd be okay. If they would have given me my $600, then I'd have been okay. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, they ain't coming. Ain't nobody coming. We've been here. We've been seeing this thing for over 400 years. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody coming. We got to get it. We got to do it our own selves. And we got to get it. And we got to help others, to get it for themselves as well. We got to get out there. We got to get businesses. We got to get houses. We got to get land. And then we got to go back and show other people how to get businesses. We got to show them how to get land. We got to show them how to get houses. Okay. And if that's not something that you want to do, I advise you, because this right here is the kindest, gentlest nation that you're going to see coming from here. Okay. So from this point out, we got to take off, right? All this type of stuff that is saying, hey, what happened? And follow up, this, that, and the other. Great. Get it. You don't get it. That's fine with me, because I've been sitting here since 2009. I've seen people on Facebook do the same kind of things, and then they come back and ask me the same questions. Okay. And so I understand, and I'm not putting anything to anybody. All I'm saying is this: put your work in, right? Because this right here is your leadership opportunity. Right? Watch what I say. Watch what I say. It's not something that I haven't done before. It's not something that I don't have credentials on. I know what's happening. I've been putting together the systematic procedures for individuals to do it with us. Yes, I could have very easily just said, hey, I'm going to do all of this by myself, and then created a couple of things, a couple of partners or whatever, and did it just like I've done it previously. But that's not the goal this time, because things are changing. If you are not producing to where you have a successor, you're no longer, in my eyes, qualified as a success. If your child, niece, aunt, member of your church community, right? If you are not reaching out and saying, hey, what's going on with finances? That's what's going to help. That's what's going to change everything. Nothing else is going to change it. Nothing else is going to change it. We got to get to the bottom dollar. We got to get to that green. Okay. Yes, there are things in place that are oppressing us, suppressing us, right? It's causing a lot of us to go into depression. But the biggest thing that you can do is understand that you have help. You have hope. but you got to be to a place of implementing it for yourself and then saying, hey, come on. You know what I'm saying? You got this. It's bigger. It's so much bigger than them saying that, thinking something bad about you. We're not offering a pill, potion, or lotion. We're offering real help. Communities, churches, families, individuals, men, women, children. This thing here is to a point to where you got to say, I'm not concerned with any one individual, but I'm concerned with helping every individual. That means that as I go forward, it's great. You don't want to do it. You signed up. You didn't do it. Great, right? That's all you're doing is qualifying and disqualifying. All you're doing is collecting decisions. All you're doing is seeing who wants to go because you're going no matter what. Once you make that decision, you won't need anything else. Everything will align for you. Everything will jump up, and it has to go worse before it can get better. It so you have to understand that process. You can't start something new in life and not expect you to not to be buried. You're starting something new. That means you're a seed. That means you go into the ground. It means you go into the dirt. It means you go into a dark place, right? Because you got to get the understanding of the information, but you got to lock yourself in for a little while. You got to cut off the friends if they're still around, right? They're not around, whatever. You got to cut them off for a little while. You got to cut off the associates. You got to cut off whatever it is that's causing the things, because at the same time, nobody's coming. Man, I appreciate guys, and I'm gonna be here for a little while longer, and I appreciate you everything. And there's nothing that we can't do. There's pockets of houses, commercial properties, all these types of things, and we all have everything that we need to individually if we bring it to a team. So we can develop a team in Atlanta, we can develop a team in California, you can develop a team in DC, and we all meet at one place and then help one another to buy, and we all are coming up, okay? But you got to learn how it works. Nobody's coming. They're not restitutions, reformations. What's the thing called? With what they want to play the black people, reparations. Nobody's coming. Remember what I said. Nobody's coming. It's designed for that, right? So I mean, say, hey man, you're racist when you talk certain ways, and I just want to put the disclaimer out because it's public. I'm not racist whatsoever. I love everybody. If you know me, that's definitely the case. But at the same point in time, if you're being underrepresented, somebody has to say something. And if nobody's saying nothing, guess what's going to happen? Nothing, right? It's not better. Things are not better. We got to get out of that. We got opportunity, yes, but things are not better. We're still getting denied housing. We're still getting denied opportunities to financing and things like that. And if they do, they're jacking it up. I have list upon list, right? Even with appraisals now. I had a friend of mine. She's married to a white guy, right? She went in and did an appraisal. The appraisal for the house was supposed to be, it was a $300,000 house, right? I think 360 something, right? So it came in, the appraiser, same appraiser gave her like 310 or something like that. Okay. Then, they went, came back and whatever, different company came back in and the husband came in, it was 367, the full amount, right? I'm not telling you something that we don't know. What I'm saying is we're not doing anything about it. And the things that we're doing about it is individual things. We're thinking that, hey, I need to create some more income. And that's where we're trapped into that rat race, which means that let me get this money. And then next thing happens, we're dead. And somebody's got to do a GoFundMe account for your funeral. But you was getting this money. Okay. And this is not something new. Right, this happened when I was a kid. I saw it happening. It wasn't a GoFundMe. It was pass the hat around, right? So we it was having a cookout so we can raise money for the funeral. right? So, we got to understand really what's going on here. And if we don't come together, right, I'm tired of talking to people that don't want to come together, right? So my thing is that, hey, I'm doing this thing, and I'm gonna show up every Monday at 8:30, and I'm gonna keep on doing it. Those people that want to call and get everything together, then let's get it together. But when you talk to me, let's say, hey, let's do questions so that questions are going forward. Okay. If you want clarity, let's get some clarity. Right. If you want clarity after the clarity, let's get some clarity after the clarity. I don't mind none of that. But what I don't want is no commitment. Right. Is the worst thing is I can understand, a quitter. No problem. I used to quit. I quit other things. I quit eating celery. Everybody quits. No problem. But it's the posers. Don't supposed to be. That's the thing that drives you crazy. Just be around the fire, get burned. Okay. And understand what you have your hands on. Okay. Look outside around and find out what it would cost to do those things that I listed before. Find out what it would cost somebody to show you how to do your LLC, or just Google it. Do that too. Okay, see how long that takes, right? See what kind of LLC you get when you do that type of thing. Okay, have somebody charge you. Then watch it done in Bradstreet. Okay, so get your list together. Find out what you want most from life, and don't take no for an answer. Don't take no for an answer. You have the networks, you have the tools, right? I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I didn't see anything dropped in the comments or anything like that. So I definitely appreciate it. And we had everybody come in. Appreciate you, Tiffany, for coming by. Michelle, thank you for coming by. Arcadia, thank you for inviting and coming by. Appreciate it. Facebook user 101. I don't know who you are, but thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Great info, brother. I appreciate it. Patricia, thank you for coming by, stopping. Sharon, I appreciate everybody. And everybody that's not left a comment, I can only, say hey and everything to the people I see in the comments and everything like that. So, reach out, and take your life seriously. We got kids, we got aunties, we got, we got folks. I'm not saying all skin folk ain't kinfolk, but what I'm saying? But enough of us can come together and really do something, I guess this is my, what they say when I used to preach. This is my final close, But guys, I appreciate you. Stay focused. It's just a lot of things that's going to get in your way. That's how it's designed. That's how the world is designed. It's designed. It's positive, negative. Okay. It's up, down, it's left, right. Okay, so don't be surprised when you start going in a certain direction that you get opposition. It's opposite of the direction that you were once going. So it's got to have some opposition, right? Because at least you're going to be going against the wind. Okay, so what you got to do is, okay, what do you do when the opposition gets there? If you're not prepared, then it's going to knock you out of the game. Okay, so you got to think about it just like when the seed is sown, right? Some of the seed is sown and some of the seed is taken right away. But the first thing you got to realize is that the enemy comes immediately once the seed is sown. Okay, now that enemy coming immediately, it could be through your brother, your sister, your aunt, your cousin. It could be through your significant other. What you got to do is, okay, you got to maintain. So, and understand it's not the wind that's blowing, but it's the set of your sail. It's understanding that, hey, I have my own, these are my emotions, right? My emotions don't have me. This is my emotions, okay? So when I feel a certain way, what happens, just like if you're thinking about things, right? If you think about a certain lost one, right? Somebody that you loved and, they passed on, right? That thought itself can produce tears, okay? So understand the process, the mechanics. So if you replace the thought, right, then it takes the emotion away. But if you continually focus on that continuous emotion and you say, that's my emotion, then that becomes a characteristic. Then it becomes a disposition. You know what I'm saying? That's who you are, right? And then you've placed something over your face. It's not the real you. It's just the facade that has come because you've been hurt, because of whatever the situation was, right? So what you got to do is you got to understand how to take advantage of the thoughts. Okay, if you can't automatically, just because it takes the brain, it takes practice to change, right? When a thought is happening, it takes practice to grab it, right? To take that thought into to capture that thought. It takes practice. Okay, so what you got to do is you got to replace the thought. Okay, so when you're having a thought, you got to have enough gumption to say, okay, let me replace this thought. So you got to get your book and read out loud, so you can replace the thought. Okay, until you replace the thought, you're going to continue to have the emotion. You continue to have the emotion, it's going to lead you to motion. That's going to be the wrong motion. Okay, so you got to correct the thought. Okay, so take your time. No matter who you are, where you are, you can do this. Right, we were all given a space and time that happens right after the stimulus, right after the thing that caused something. There's a space, and that space is an opportunity to think. Some people have a longer space there. Like myself, I'm fairly calm, right? That's because I had a long life of actually being bombarded by things. Okay, so a lot of things don't move me really fast. Okay, so then you have others that are quick to be mean, quick to be angry. You know what I'm saying? So this space is short, but you practice that. See, that's where prayer comes in. Okay, prayer comes in to your meditation. I don't mean a meditation where you get out of your mind. I mean meditation where you think about the thoughts of prayer. Okay, right? So when you do that, it helps you to spot the about to happen emotions. So when you spot the about to happen, you can correct it. So the more time you spend in prayer, you start to see the more you, okay, the real you. And see, when you see the real you, you see it's different than what's been happening. And so you say, okay, well, that ain't me. That's just how I've been reacting. Now I'm choosing to respond. Okay. That's the basis of everything. Okay. So guys, like I said, I do this all night. This is my thing. But I appreciate it. I didn't mean to keep y'all this long. Those that did stay, definitely holler at me. I appreciate you, because I know how it is. I know everybody's got things to do. And I've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes or so. Be good. But whatever you do, study so you can be good at it. All right. Peace.